Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 3 of the October collage a day. So today we're going to create a junk journal card, but we'll be using it as a junk journal pocket, so we'll be gluing it into one of the pages in the journal that I'm working in for this month of October. And so I've got vintage music paper and I've cut a piece of craft cardstock to the size I want, and this is for my scrap bin because I'm trying to use up all my scraps and images I've printed. And this is about 3 5/8 by 5 1/4, so whatever size you want your pocket. Then this was left over from trying to make some sort of an envelope, and I've got that. And then we've got this fairy image. I've also got a piece of lace here that I'm thinking possibly doing something with. I'm not really sure. And I've got my sewing machine at the ready because I'm going to sew off camera the elements on. And also I'm going to sew a ruffle of sari silk on, and I've got a rusty safety pin that I'm going to incorporate somehow. And so I love this one. I love them all, but the pink kind of pulls in from her dress there. Of course, the blue is very pretty too. This one is more same kind of color scheme, but a little more organic looking, I guess you could say. I don't think I want that one though. No. I mean, they're all so beautiful. I know, Faye, if you're watching, I'm listening through the internets for what you're saying to choose. I think I'm going to go with this one. But the first thing I'm going to do is distress the heck out of this thing. So I'm crinkling it up because if you weren't, I'm showing you this in case you wanted to create a journaling card and not a pocket. So I'm roughing up the edges, and I mentioned in the last video, this is a little piece of sandpaper, which is fabulous to use to distress your edges too, if you want a little bit of wear, but I want to really, really wear it out. And so now I've got we'll use the walnut stain distress ink, and I'm going to go all around the edges. And if I was creating a journaling card, actually I have another video coming out where I make journaling cards. I would distress ink all of the folds on the back because you're not going to be gluing it in, but we're gluing it into the journal, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, then creating our background, and I am definitely going to do some distressing on this. Just going to, I kind of look around and see what I think is pretty, and I like this little part there. So I'm just going to rip a piece of the music paper, and this is it's thick paper, but it's kind of fragile, so it is very easy if you just fold it, because it's vintage, but it's very easy to just fold and tear where you want. So we're going to put that there, so this is fold, tear. And I'm going to adhere everything before I go to the sewing machine just with my glue stick. When I glue it into the journal, I'm going to be using my 3-in-1, the Beacon 3-in-1 glue. So you want to glue the pockets, and you want a glue that is strong. And I like fast grab, quick dry. Now where's my, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of eyeballing it, trim it down a little, And I don't mind if some of the edges show, that's why I distressed them. And I'm going to do the same to this. We're going to make a mess out of it. I watched a fabulous video from Sheena at Luna Rosu, how she makes her ephemera look vintage and antique, and I use so many of her techniques now. So I will link her video down below. So grunging it up, little wrinkles here and there. Wrinkle distressing. Okay, now probably do a little bit on this, just around the edges. I'm not gonna go crazy because I like the color, that creamy color of the paper. So we've got the top there. Then we've got this here, and see there's a tear there, so it's not going to get glued down, so I'm going to distress ink the back. If I think it's going to be seen, I just distress ink it. Okay, so how we looking here? Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, what do you think we're going to do? We're going to distress it. All right, so I'm going to glue down. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges because I am going to sew. And I don't have trouble sewing through the glue stick, but I'm just going to go close to the edge just in case. And so glue that. And I don't mind if things stick over the edges. The more irregular, the better. And put that one on. And so now, if I was using this as a journaling card, what I would do is do my stitching, if I wanted to, do my stitching around her and then glue her down and then do the stitching around all of it. But because you're not going to see the back, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on her to hold her down where I want her. And we want her just a little off center because I'm going to do the ruffle. And so what I will do is, well, I'm going to sew around her. And I think I have a dark brown thread on. And I think that's probably what I'll go with. And then I'm going to sew around, and then I'll sew around this edge, sewing the ruffle on, and then I'll be back. Okay, I am so happy with how it turned out. I already clipped on the little rusty safety pin just for an extra little element, extra little detail. Our ruffle, I went around sewing with just a straight stitch twice and then just kind of offset it from the first stitch just so it looks a little more handmade and natural and not so perfect. Now let's decide where we're going to put it. When I do something like this, I want that ruffle on the edge so you see it on your pages. So wherever we choose, let's find a blank page. What is this one? I'm going to glue it down the bottom here, and I actually think I'm just going to, I'm not going to do a traditional pocket, I'm going to do more of a tuck spot so it'll be open on this side. So I'm going to glue this edge and that edge, and I've got my little hard cover to go underneath, and I'm using the 3-in-1 glue. Let's turn this. And I've been putting it in these smaller bottles from the big bottle that it comes in. And I've seen a lot of journal makers doing this, and I think the idea is brilliant, so I started doing it too. Okay, and then I'm just going to, right on the edge, as close to the edge as I can get because I want the ruffle to peek out a little. gosh, I love it. And closed, and you can see the ruffle there, so pretty. And so that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Day 3 of October Collage a Day is done. I will see you back here again tomorrow for day 4. Hope you're having a great weekend. Take care, everybody. Bye.